I've been running businesses for over 30 years, and let me tell you, this moment right here, it's one of the craziest I've seen since the 2008 financial crisis. And while the headlines scream, US imposes 245% tariff on Chinese imports, what they're not telling you is this: we're in the middle of a full-blown economic chess game, and if you don't know the rules, you're not just losing money, you're the pawn. Just last week, the U.S. Trade Representative announced a jaw-dropping 245% tariff on a range of Chinese goods, mainly solar panels, rare earth metals, and electronics. Now, this isn't just a flex. It's a warning shot. The trade war between the U.S. and China just leveled up. But while the media is busy obsessing over the 245%, barely anyone's noticing what's going on with the U.S. dollar, and it's not pretty. The dollar index, which tracks the strength of the greenback against a basket of global currencies, just dropped to 89.4, its lowest point in nearly 3 years. And that's got investors sweating bullets. Because let's be real. If you're sitting on a pile of cash right now, your wealth is basically melting. Prices are going up, your dollars buy less, and meanwhile, life doesn't stop charging you rent. This isn't just about tariffs. It's about how money works in a time of chaos. Inflation's creeping up, trust in the dollar is sliding, and the people who don't know how to pivot, they're about to get steamrolled. I remember back in 2018 when the US slapped a 25% tariff on Chinese steel. American steelmakers were cheering, until prices shot through the roof, and construction companies started bleeding out because their costs doubled overnight. 6 months in, everyone realized, wait, we just punched ourselves in the face. And now? We're not talking 25% anymore. It's 245%. You think that's not going to boomerang back into the economy? You think the supply chains aren't going to pass that cost onto the businesses, and eventually onto your dinner plate? Regular folks are gonna feel this at the grocery store, at the gas pump, and definitely when buying electronics. But the wealthy, the people who actually understand how this game works, they're already moving their assets into gold, real estate, and crypto. Because they know, when fiat money crashes, real assets win. And if you've got your life savings parked in a bank account earning 1% while real inflation's chewing away at 6%, well, hate to break it to you, but you're quietly losing money every single day. Now, I'm not here to freak you out. I'm here to tell you the truth. I used to think savings meant safety too. Until I watched the value of my cash burn away in slow motion. What I learned the hard way is this: money that isn't moving is money that's dying. And in times like this, sitting still is the most dangerous move of all. So here's the deal, this chaos. It's actually a window of opportunity. But only if you know what to do with it. Because the smart money is already making moves, and if you're late to the party, you'll be the one footing the bill. This channel? I share free knowledge here, on how to build wealth, how to think like an entrepreneur, how to invest smart, and how to get financially free. So if you don't want to get left behind, subscribe, hit that bell, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it, before the next wave hits. The future isn't waiting for anyone. And money? Money doesn't sleep. Are you ready? Let's keep it real, this 245% tariff didn't just fall out of the sky. This is the result of years of rising tension between the US and China. But the real battle? It's not about cheap solar panels or phone chargers. It's about technology and power. We're talking about semiconductors, battery supply chains, the stuff that decides who runs the world in the next 50 years. And guess what? China has a tight grip on most of it. Over 80% of the world's lithium batteries come from China. You think the US doesn't see that as a threat? So now we've got this tariff sledgehammer. It's aimed at China, sure. But here's what no one's saying out loud: if you don't have a strong domestic supply chain to replace what you're taxing, you're basically punching yourself in the nose and calling it patriotism. Because when import prices jump, Manufacturing costs rise. Businesses raise prices. Consumers cry at the checkout counter. Inflation spreads like wildfire. And that brings us back to the US dollar, which is now on life support. Investors around the globe are watching the chaos unfold. They're not stupid. They see the US walking into a self-made inflation trap. They know the Fed is stuck. It can't cut interest rates without making inflation worse, and it can't raise them much more without choking the economy. And so what do? They dump the dollar. Remember the last time the dollar dropped below 90 on the index? Late 2020. Back when COVID had the world by the throat. Gold, crypto, real estate, they all surged. And now we're seeing that movie again. Only this time, the virus isn't biological, it's economic instability and political ego. I've got a buddy who runs an import-export business down in Texas. Earlier this year, he signed a contract to import a batch of CNC machines from Shenzhen. At the time, it made perfect sense. Prices were low, demand was high. Now, the machines just arrived at the port, and with the new 245% tariff in place, his total cost just tripled. He called me sounding like a ghost. If I sell these things, I lose money. If I don't sell them, I lose more money. What the hell do I do? And that's not just his problem. That's thousands of small and mid-sized American businesses right now. So the real question isn't, is this serious? It's, have you built your survival plan for the next 12 months? Because if you're still holding 100% of your assets in cash, hoping the storm will pass, let me be blunt, you're already leaking wealth. Instead, start shifting into hard assets, gold, real estate, even valuable inventory. Diversify your income. If all your eggs are in one paycheck or one product, you're in a dangerous spot. Use good leverage. Borrowing to invest in cash-flowing assets is still a power move, even when rates are high. I tell all my students this: don't chase money. Learn how money moves. Because the rich don't get richer by working harder. They get richer by understanding the system and positioning themselves before the masses catch on. You want to survive this chaos? You've got to think like the top 1%. And I don't mean fancy watches and Lambos. I mean mindset, strategy, discipline. But you know what's scarier than a recession? Being left behind by people who saw it coming and acted first. This channel? It's all about sharing free, practical knowledge on how to grow wealth, build a business, invest wisely, and escape the paycheck-to-paycheck life. So if what I'm saying hits home, smash that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and share this video with someone who needs to stop playing defense and start making power moves. Because in this game, knowledge is your weapon, and action is your shield. Ready to keep going? Let's cut the fluff and get to what matters most right now. What should you actually do? Because listen, you can understand every chart, follow every headline, know the Fed's every move, but if you don't take action, you're just another spectator in a game that's eating people alive. Here's what I've learned over 30+ years in business. In a crisis, the survivors aren't the ones with the most money, they're the ones who move the fastest and adapt first. Let's take it step by step. 1. Stop holding all your wealth in cash. I know. That feels safe. That feels responsible. But it's a trap. Inflation right now in the US is still hanging around 5.6%, and bank savings accounts are paying, what, 1.5% if you're lucky? That means your money is losing value every single day, slowly and silently. So what should you do? Keep enough cash to cover 6 months of expenses, personal or business. That's your emergency shield. Then take the rest, and 2. Move into real assets. Real estate. Land. Gold. Heck, even physical inventory that holds value. I'm not saying go buy a mansion in Beverly Hills. I'm saying look for income-producing properties, farmland, industrial land, even rental units in undervalued areas. Don't have enough for real estate? No problem. Look at gold, silver, or strategic assets. I've seen smart business owners stock up on raw materials ahead of price hikes and save thousands down the line. One guy I know in Georgia bought a year's worth of manufacturing materials at January prices. By March, those prices jumped 23%. He locked in profits just by being prepared. 3. Don't sleep on crypto, but be smart about it. Crypto isn't just for Reddit bros anymore. Bitcoin just broke past $70,000 again, and big money is moving in: banks, hedge funds, even governments. But let me be clear, don't throw your life savings into meme coins. Put 5 to 10% of your total portfolio into major cryptocurrencies: Bitcoin, Ethereum, the blue chip stuff. Only what you can afford to leave untouched for 2 years. Set it, forget it, and don't check the price every 5 minutes. Because when fiat currencies fall, crypto tends to rise. It's not magic, it's math and psychology. 4. Fix your cash flow. Ruthlessly. This is not the time to carry dead weight. Cut the products that don't sell. Let go of marketing channels that don't perform. Pause projects that suck time and give nothing back. At the same time, double down on what's working. If you have one product, service, or offer that's still generating income, scale it. Pour focus and energy into what's moving the needle. When things are shaking, the worst thing you can do is try to hold on to everything. That's how ships sink. 5. Prepare for the liquidity crunch. If this thing gets worse, there's going to be a wave of panic selling. People will start liquidating stocks, crypto, inventory, even real estate. Why? Because cash is king during a panic. So ask yourself right now, if my clients delay payments, if my supplier fails, if my credit line gets pulled, can I survive 3 months? If the answer's no, then you've got work to do. Negotiate your terms. Trim your expenses. Pull in as much cash as you can before things freeze. Trust me, when the panic hits, the people with liquidity become the hunters. The rest? They become the discount shelf. Look, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to wake you up. This isn't the first financial storm. It won't be the last. But every time, the same thing happens: the ones who prepare, get rich. The ones who freeze, get wrecked. In 1998, I lost almost everything. And that loss became my teacher. It taught me how to hedge risk, protect assets, and, most importantly, how to think like a strategist, not a survivor. This channel is where I share free, no BS knowledge on building wealth, scaling businesses, investing smart, and escaping the 9 to 5 trap. So if this message hit you, if you know someone who needs to hear it, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video. Because the more people who wake up early, the fewer get wiped out late. In this game, knowledge is your sword. Action is your armor. And timing is everything.